Mythic Zeros are here, and Mythic Plus is right around the corner, so it's time we start talking about Havoc Mythic Plus builds. In this video, we'll be looking at the Fel-Scarred Ignition Mythic Plus build, as that's what most people will be running. Let me know in the comments if you're interested in an Eldrazi Reaver build. We'll be covering the talents, stats, gear you should target from keys, the opener, and the rotation. Let's dive in. If you're looking to maximize your gold earnings in the War Within, or even just be a bit better about managing your money, TSM is the one-stop tool to help you become the gold goblin you were always meant to be. TSM can help you manage your auctions with ease, making sure you're not underselling your items or overpaying for your raid consumables every week. I've been grinding out professions pretty hard so far in the War Within, and TSM is able to help me figure out exactly what I should be crafting and what will make me the most profit. One of my favorite features is the sniper feature, which allows you to find and purchase items listed well below market value, which you can then resell for profit. TSM now has new premium packages that help you elevate your gold making by tapping into TSM's vast database to help you make informed decisions on what to buy and when to sell. Use my link in the description to get 15% off your first purchase of a premium TSM package. Alright, so this is the Fel-Scarred Ignition build. We're taking a Fire Inside, Any Means Necessary, and Rage Fire for massive AoE damage, Essence Break for everyone's favorite Essence Break combo, and Glaive Tempest to fill in the gaps. This build is taking inertia since the high burst potential it provides in AoE is unmatched. You can play around with a no-mover variation of this by taking the point out of inertia and placing it elsewhere, but no other talent node will come close to matching the output of inertia. I'll leave that up to you if you're dead set on playing no-mover, but playing with movement for damage is highly recommended in Mythic Plus. If you do go the no-mover route, just remember to at least Vengeful Retreat when you can for initiative. Another talent worth mentioning is Student of Suffering, which is in the Fel-Scarred hero talent tree. This gives us a huge mastery buff whenever we use Sigil of Flame, and this becomes very impactful because Demon Surge scales with mastery. Here's the import code for the build. I'll put it in the description of the video and in the pinned comment. Now for your stats, you'll be focusing on crit and mastery. Crit still holds a lot of value because it double dips and increases our crit damage bonus via the talent Know Your Enemy. Mastery has always been very good for us since it increases the damage of our chaos abilities, but now with Fel-Scarred, our massive uncapped damage from Demon Surge is also amplified by mastery. So the more mastery you can get, the more you'll absolutely melt packs of mobs. Keep in mind though, as you're gearing up, it's always the best choice to take the highest eye level piece of gear you can get. Once you're in a position where you're comparing two pieces of the same eye level but different stats, only then should you take stat priorities into consideration. Now, when it comes to gear you should be targeting directly from dungeons, there's definitely a few you should set your eyes on. The first one is Scarden's Grace. This is a trinket from Grim Batol that gives primary stat and a huge amount of mastery on a 2-minute cooldown. This means that it can be lined up with every Metamorphosis for absolutely insane burst. Another trinket to target is the Arakara Sack Brood. This comes from, you guessed it, Arakara, and is a fantastic passive trinket. It gives a chunk of haste while also giving a stacking primary stat buff, topped off with a little damage. It's a great general trinket that works well for everyone. And some other items to grab are the Trail Spinner Pendant from Mists of Tyrna's Scythe and the Seal of the City Watch from Siege of Borealis. Okay, so this is your opener. You'll Immolation Aura on pull, then use the Hunt right away. This puts the Hunt in our initiative buff, and it does more damage outside of demon form due to the hero talent Monster Rising, which gives us 8% extra agility outside of demon form. Then Sigil of Flame to get the Student of Suffering mastery buff. You're going to Fel Rush to spend Unbound Chaos and get inertia, Immolation Aura again to get Unbound Chaos again, Fel Rush again to stack up your inertia buff, and then here you'll use your damage potions and any on-use trinkets that you might have. From here you'll I-Beam to enter Demonic, and this will give you 2 Demon Surges to spend. Use Annihilation to spend your first Demon Surge, and then Essence Break. Inside of your Essence Break window you want to use Death Sweep to spend your second Demon Surge. Then you'll Vengeful Retreat and cancel the Vengeful Retreat animation by using Metamorphosis. You can use an @player macro with Metamorphosis to stop you from having to use the targeting reticle to place your meta. This will cut back on the time it takes to actually use meta and makes the whole thing happen much quicker. Now that you've pressed meta, you have 5 more Demon Surges to spend. You'll Death Sweep again to get your second Death Sweep inside of Essence Break, and spend a Demon Surge. Then use Annihilation to spend another Demon Surge, Sigil of Doom to get the Student of Suffering Mastery buff again and spend a Demon Surge, then Consuming Fire to get Unbound Chaos and spend a Demon Surge, then you'll Fel Rush to get Inertia, then you'll Abyssal Gaze to extend Demonic and spend your last Demon Surge. Then finally, throw in a Glaive Tempest. Your opener is the same thing you'll be doing every 2 minutes whenever you have meta available. In between every 2-minute meta window, you'll have 2 I-Beam and Essence Break windows, since they're on a 40-second cooldown. So you'll want to make sure you have an Immolation Aura for Inertia and a Sigil of Flame for the Student of Suffering buff before going into each Essence Break window. So every 40 seconds, you'll want to Immolation Aura first to get Unbound Chaos, Sigil of Flame to get Student of Suffering, Vengeful Retreat and I-Beam at the same time, Fel Rush back in to get Inertia, then Essence Break, Death Sweep, and fill with Annihilation. Now you might feel like using Vengeful Retreat into I-Beam is awkward, but it's honestly the best way to manage it here for 2 reasons. Reason number 1 is it lines up better cooldown-wise. Reason number 2, it allows us to get our buffs first before casting Essence Break so we don't risk losing any globals inside of the Essence Break buff window. It also eliminates the possibility of your Essence Break missing, which I'm sure has happened to you countless times if you've played Havoc over the past couple years. Finally, in between every 40-second Essence Break window, you'll have a use of Vengeful Retreat since it's on a 20-second cooldown. You want to use that to get Initiative. Be sure to use that Initiative buff to boost hard-hitting abilities. Glaive Tempest can be used basically on cooldown whenever you can, as long as it's not interfering with your Essence Break windows. Now for some rotation tips just to make this whole thing a little bit easier for you to remember. Tip number 1, don't be afraid to use your Immolation Aura charges. With a Fire inside, we have 2 charges naturally, and the chance to get free resets. If you get lucky with resets, go ahead and just send them. Just make sure you're Fel Rushing first to not waste your Inertia. If you guys want a handy weak aura to track your free resets and to make sure you don't miss any resets when they happen, you can check out my weak aura that I made specifically for this reason to track all of your resets and to track your Rage Fires. Link will be in the description. Tip number 2, make sure you're using Vengeful Retreat on cooldown as often as you possibly can to keep it lining up with your 40-second Essence Break windows and your 2-minute meta windows. Tip number 3, remember to use Sigil of Flame before every Essence Break window to get the Student of Suffering Mastery buff. This buff makes everything hit way harder. When using Sigil for every Essence Break window, this means it'll be coming up off cooldown around 10 seconds before Essence Break, since it's a 30-second cooldown. It may be tempting to use it as soon as it's up, but hold off and make sure you use it for Essence Break. Tip number 4, once you get your tier set bonus from the raid, you'll be getting free resets of Blade Dance and Death Sweep. Send those as soon as you get them because you cannot get resets unless Blade Dance is on cooldown. And tip number 5, it might seem clunky to play with both Essence Break and Glaive Tempest at the same time, but try to not overthink it. Play as you normally would, prioritizing your Essence Break combos, and just slot in Glaive Tempest when it's off cooldown and you have a free global. Just be sure to not use it inside of Demonic. If you guys have any questions or you want to see this in action, you can check out my stream. I'm live multiple days a week. The link will be down in the description. Stop by and say hi. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel for more Havoc Demon Hunter content, and I'll see you next time. Peace.